What's going on, party people? Oh, I forgot. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm live. Oh, got to turn the mic stuff off over here. There we go. All right. All right. Woo. What's going on, Frank? My man out there in Louisiana. I mean, I keep saying Louisiana, Alabama, man. Alabama, Alabama. Because of that LA, man. I keep wanting to say Louisiana and everything. But yeah, we straight, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was trying to hop on earlier. Let me turn that down, like the monitor myself, see what's happening and all that good stuff. I know it's late. So honestly, I don't expect a whole lot of people to be sliding up in here, but then y'all are the party people, so just might slide up in here anyway. Let me get my camera. Y'all can see I'm up here adjusting, and I know y'all like, man, the camera moving too much. All right, there we go. I think I'm good to go. What's up, Buffalo, New York? All right, good to see you. She is me glowing. All right. I like that. What's going on? What's going on? Fritter Saturday. Yeah, the title is a joke toward my man Oswald. He was like, "Man, you can't call it Fritter Friday if it ain't happening on Friday." Man, Fritter Friday is whenever the party people want it. Whenever we want it, that's when it's there. Yeah, it's been a while. What's going on, T. Lou? I'm doing great. Part of the reason why it's been a while is because I've been busy doing orders and just trying to keep myself together. um, and just spending time with the family and just enjoying myself. But yeah, it's been a minute. And it's weird because even though the about to say ministry, even though the industry has slowed down, I'm actually busier now, and everything. So I have to make some adjustments in how I'm doing things. Excuse me. And I just can't, put out the videos like I was doing. Um, I'll be sitting down here getting ready to do a video and then an order will come in. Or it's like, man, I got to take me a break. I need a little mental break because and sorry about that, just getting my throat clear. Where's my lozenges? There we go. Just trying to take as many orders as I can to bring in the money to the household. That has become priority one. So you got to sometimes weigh things and say, okay, what's the priority? So if an opportunity comes in for me to make money, then I'm going to do it. And here's the thing. Also, how's my audio? I've been meaning to ask y'all that because my audio was I got a new laptop and sometimes it was acting up. So if it's breaking up or sounds sketchy, let me know. If it sounds good, put a thumbs up or a one or something. Let me know if my audio is sounding okay. I figured if it wasn't, Frank would tell me because Frank is always on to let me know if my audio is jacked up and everything. What's going on, Oswald? Hey, the title is for you, Oswald, because what did you say? You talking about I can't say Fritter Friday if it ain't Friday and stuff. Let me get y'all know I always like to have my stuff buttoned all the way up here when I do my videos and everything and stuff. Don't want nobody to accuse me of showing too much skin. You know how folk are nowadays. So yeah, that's why I did the okay, audio's good. All right, perfect. So that's and good to see you there, Keita. That's why I did the title not Fritter Friday. It's not Fritter Friday. It's Fritter Friday, y'all. But for Oswald, he said it can't be Fritter Friday unless it's on Friday. But we the party people, so we can do it whenever we please. All right, my man Frank, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, part of the thing, and all of this is a learning experience for me. Okay. And thank you for hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all, because when you hit the like button, it sends out more and more notifications to let people know that we out here and everything, and then it informs people. So that's the little YouTube algorithm thing that I just learned. So for everybody that's in here, please hit the like button and feel free to share on Twitter and Facebook and anywhere else. That you got notary things going on. Unless they're going to ban you because you shared me, because some people have gotten in trouble for sharing my videos. They don't like me sometimes. But here's what this is all a learning experience for me. Okay. Um, this is my first time being full time in any business. Okay. I've done it part time, all of that. And with the notary business, this is, most definitely my first time with any of this. So my first downturn, my first pandemic rush, any of that. So what I'm seeing here is right now with the downturn of the economy, for the markets and all of that, for real estate, the mortgages, all of that, however you want to list it. There's a lot more orders, but of course the prices have dropped. Yet you can actually make money still, but you got to do more work. So when I'm looking at orders, and my average order now is about 90 some bucks versus 110, you got to take all the orders that you can get, or at least that's how I feel for myself, that I got to take as many as I possibly can so that I can make sure that I'm getting the money that I need. So if I'm doing 75, 76 orders a month, I might be bringing in about 71 or 7,200. That's right now where it's floating at. So when an opportunity comes in to do an order, I do it. Just like today, I had one closing this morning at 10 a.m. And then I was going to finish up some house inspections that I couldn't complete the day before Friday because it was a huge rainstorm that came through for about 4 or 5 hours. And it was just too much rain. And I can do the inspections during the rain, but it was just too much. And where I had to go at, I knew the roads was going to be flooded because it was in a part of Virginia, part of Virginia Beach that's close to North Carolina, and they got a lot of those roads where you're driving and then it dips down because there's a creek there. So rather than have it built up above the creek and let the creek flow underneath, they drop the road down on the creek level. So if the creek floods, the road is flooded. So that's a huge thing. And because I know what that area is like, I was like, I can't go down there or I will be stuck. And I wouldn't even go down there if I had an SUV. That's how bad it can be. So today I said, okay, I'm gonna drop my son off to work. Then I'm going to go do my closing at 10 a.m. And then from there, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go straight to doing. I'm gonna come back, drop the documents off, and then no, it was at 11. I'm sorry, was it? I don't know, whatever time it was today. Um, and then from there, I'm going to hold on one second. You know me, I it was 10 a.m. So the closing was 10 a.m. this morning, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna go drop the documents off, drop the ones from last night off. I'll be done with all closings, and then I'll knock out my house inspections, and then I was gonna actually come home and take a nap. So I said by 2 o'clock, I should be done with all my house inspections that I was gonna do today. Got a few that I'm gonna do tomorrow, and I'm done. And I get a call for a general notary assignment. I run and go knock that out real quick, make quick 10 bucks. Then I said, well, let me run home real quick, go home, and I get a notification saying they need a notary today, TBD, for 125 to do a reverse mortgage. I was like, all right, bet, bet. I'll go ahead on and knock that out. So I called the people. I was like, hey, what time y'all want to meet? They said 3:30. I said, all right, cool. 3:30. Then after I do that, I'll go knock out my house inspections before sunset. And when I did the closing, everything went fine with that. um, then I went to go do the house inspections. Then I realized three of the house inspections that I have were within 5 minutes of each other. So I just spent the time to go knock those out, came home, did the scan. And the point that I'm making is that at any point in time, an order can pop up. Now, here's a unique thing about this order. And the gentleman told me, when I got there, he said, "Man, I'm sorry you had to come out because I was expecting to do this online because they had me signing documents online earlier today. And then they said, you'll meet about 2 o'clock." He said, "So I figured I'll just do it online." I said, "Well, nah, they didn't tell me anything about doing it online. They told me I had to do it face to face." And basically, they got his loan package together today, Saturday, the 17th of June. Today was when they got his loan package together. I was thinking this was a situation where everything was already set and he had a closing schedule, but the notary couldn't make it, and therefore they was trying to get somebody. Uh-uh. They did it today. They was like, "Okay, we got everything done." He did his e-sign of the documents, and they was like, "We want to close today." So they said, "We need a notary." And guess what? The signing company had to do what? Find a notary. So that means the signing company is available to accommodate their client, the title company, and they said, "Can you find us a notary?" Order went out. I was like, "Yes." And I already knew that was going to throw things off of my schedule, but I was like, "You know what? I got to do this because I got to make the money. I got to bring it in 125. I'm averaging below 100. So to get my average up, that extra $25 counts." And that's why I did the closing today because I was just going to chill. I literally was going to chill. So now tomorrow I got one closing. One house inspection that I'm gonna do. Knock that out, and then I'm pretty much done for the day. And then I'm going to get ready for Monday because on the 19th, Juneteenth, I actually do have a closing. I forget what time, but I do have a closing, and I'm gonna knock that out. It might be in the afternoon if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 o'clock or 3:30 or something like that. And I think it's with a gentleman that's in town. So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do all of that." And I'm sharing this with y'all because I know many of you want to be full time in this business. And when you're full time, and I'm talking about like, you have nothing else, this is your source of income, you got to be ready to hop on orders when they come in. Now, the big thing is it's whether you're going to get the opportunity, and that's the struggle right now. Can you get the opportunity? Now, somebody texted me, and I talked to this gentleman a couple of weeks ago, and me and him talked, and I told him, I said, "Look," and he's out there in New Mexico, I believe. I said, "Look, you need to put your orders in SnapDocs. The orders that you've completed, the non-SnapDoc orders, put them in SnapDocs, and you may see a change in notifications." So he contacted me, he texted me and told me after about a month, it's been about a month, that he's been putting his orders in SnapDocs and he's been getting assigned more orders. I know a lot of people always saying SnapDoc people, they're going to steal, meaning take your client to where you can no longer work with that person ever, ever, ever again. And for me personally, I have not seen that. I have not seen that whatsoever. So he's done it. He contacted me and said, "Hey, man, I've been getting more. I've been getting selected more because he's been putting his other orders from signing order and signature closers and wherever else into SnapDocs. SnapDocs has a little funky fancy algorithm that says, "Oh, you're doing work. Bam, here we go. We're gonna send you more notifications." Other companies see that you're doing more. You can put I-9s in there. If you're doing, you can put them in there because I think it's more so the fact that you're actually active and you're doing work, because they don't ask, "Are you notarizing anything?" They just ask you, they just give you the option to put the work in there. So I would, "Hey, good morning. Good evening, Susan. Good evening to you." I would put the orders in there and see what happens. It doesn't hurt. And from what I was shared with me by other signing company owners, they don't actually see the details of the order. They just see the fact that you're doing orders. So if you think about it, if SnapDoc has an algorithm, and thanks again for hitting the like button, y'all. When you get a chance, hit the like button. Let the people know we here. If well, look, even though you're not most people aren't computer scientists and engineers and stuff, you sort of understand. The more you put in, the more you get out. So if you put orders into the algorithm has something to work with. If you're not putting anything into it, then what can it work with? It can't work with much. I mean, it's just like somebody got real short hair, and they go to the beautician and say, I want finger waves. And like, I ain't got much to work with here. I really can't do too much with what you got. And this isn't a thing of somebody doing a miracle with some short Holly Berry hair and throwing finger waves in it. This is you got to give the system what it needs in order for it to produce something positive for you. So that's something that you should do. Getting the opportunities is the hard part. And again, from what people have shared with me, and even on the last live I did, one young lady talked about the fact that she changed her profile and started getting more positive and consistent opportunities. You got to tell a story with your profile of the fact that it's not just I'm a new notary, I took so and so's training. Don't base them selecting you off of the fact that you took training. Some people may not like the trainer who you took. They may have issues with that trainer. They may not like that trainer, what they're teaching, because out of the word mouth of those trainers, they have all confessed. Well, not all, but a lot of them confess they don't teach you how to be a notary. They teach you how to make money by marketing your business. The signing companies don't need a marketer, they need a notary. So if your profile is written in such a way that you're not communicating that you are a good notary, then why would they select you when that's what they need? So a person needs something and you're telling them everything except for how I can meet your need. That's a problem. That's a problem. So with all of these struggles of getting business, getting opportunities, it can lead people to thinking that this notary business is a scam. And in my humbled opinion, I don't believe it's a scam. Can it feel scamish? Yes. What can make it feel scamish is the lack of honest and true information. Now, if you agree with that, put a one up. If you don't agree with that, put a two. Okay. If you agree with the fact that the reason why the notary business can feel like a scam is because of the lack of true and honest information about the business, put a one in there. If you don't think that's true, put a two. Just get an idea. Now again, most people don't want to put a two, but you can feel that way. Um, and then right. Shoot, yeah. Now, when you say honey, now the thing is, keep this in mind. We don't notarize documents, we notarize signatures. And that's one of the big things that people keep forgetting sometimes is that we're notarizing signatures. Okay, not the document, because to notarize the document means we will have to do an evaluation to find out whether that document is valid. There's no way we can notarize the document because we don't do any evaluation of the document. We do evaluation and validation of the individual in front of us to make sure that they are who they say they are. Therefore, that's what we're notarizing, the signature. So if a person doesn't sign it, we don't notarize. So therefore, we're not doing the document. And I know sometimes we can say that, but we have to be careful of saying that because the customer might think, oh, you're just notarizing the document. Therefore, if you're notarizing the document, why do I need to show you ID? That's how some people think. Also, with the I-9s, we're not notarizing that. We are actually just verifying that the person is who they say they are and they have these particular IDs and they like the notary to do it. as a trusted agent for on that on behalf of that company. And there in Matherin Notary, he has a if you look on his YouTube, Mathurn Matherin, he has a real good, I think a couple of good videos out there on that. I haven't done anything, I don't think, on I-9s at all. I don't, I mean, I do them, but it's been at least 2 years since I've done an I-9. So the question is, why does the notary business feels like a scam? Is it a scam? To me, this is not a scam. But when people realize that being a notary and doing the notarial part of this on a consistent day-to-day basis really isn't going to make them a millionaire, then they switch over into some other stuff of training and mentoring and all of that. And then that's when it can become or feel like it's scamish or a scam. And not that the selling courses, as I'm understanding or getting a bit, is not necessarily a scam. But here's the problem. Here's the thing where I think selling courses can be is when the training doesn't apply to you. And see, that's why I was saying the correct and honest information about the business is what makes is handle it. Dusty there. I don't like that. Sorry about that, y'all. Y'all know I be getting distracted real quick. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I saw something I didn't like. I'm sorry about that. I can't be. Gotta put my moisturizer on there. All right, there we go. Whew. That was bugging me. That was bugging me there for a second. So that's the thing you got to think about, is the information valid? So what I've learned is that a lot of people think this business is a scam because when they hear information about the business and they don't see the reality of it, therefore they're like, oh, this is a scam. It's not a scam if you understand what being a notary is all about, and then if you understand it from your local area. But a lot of people are teaching it from the standpoint of, oh, you can do all of these things, and that's what they can do, but you can't necessarily do it. So that becomes, that's where, to me, even with teaching courses or selling courses, it can become, or is, in my opinion, a scam, because what you're sharing with people is stuff that they can't even apply into their life as a notary. Sorry about that, y'all. Like I said, I've been running all day. Ain't hardly drink no water. Look, we just chilling tonight, y'all. So forgive my non-formalism in all of this. And feel free to put your questions in the comment as we talk, because we can talk about any of the questions that you have, any of that. Okay, so feel free to do that. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you got. And you do the I-9 class, or you did the I-9 class from the government. Yeah, whoever has a class, feel free to take their class, learn what it's about, and all of that. So again, the notary business isn't a scam. Can people take advantage of you or scam you out of money? Yes, because what they're sharing with you or selling you is stuff that doesn't work or is not applicable in your area. When they're sharing stuff with you, and that's with any business, they're saying, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to be a car salesman, but in certain states, when you do a car, when you sell cars, you have to fall under these guidelines, and they don't teach you that, or they share with you information that's not applicable to your situation, or maybe that's not applicable with certain types of cars, because with certain type of cars you can't sell them a certain way, whatever the case may be. Then that to me becomes more scamish, because you're looking for truth, and you say, okay, well, I paid for this information, and then when I go to execute it, I can't. That's like, I mean, think about it. That's how people act when college. It's like, okay, I took all these classes in college, and now I can't even get a job, or none of this stuff is actually working for me out here in the real world. That's how they feel right now in the state of Maryland with the kids coming out of high school. Kids are in these polytech schools, And then when they get out here in the real world, going to college or going to the military academies, the kids who graduated supposedly top of their class can't compete. They can't function with the other people out here because they actually weren't properly prepared. So when you aren't properly prepared for something, it can make you feel that the something you're not prepared for is a scam. In this case, the notary business. So you go and do this business, you go and take training, you go and kick it with some people, and then next thing you know, when you have the opportunity, you're sitting up there pooping on yourself because you're like, I don't know really what to do. What can I do? How do I do it? That's where the scam part or the scam feeling comes in at. And then it's like, well, this is a scam because this stuff don't work. But in all actuality, operating in the realm of the notary business, it does work if you understand what a notary is and is not, and then you understand how notary is supposed to operate in your area. Once I found out how a notary is supposed to operate in my area, I was able to go forth and do what I needed to do. As long as I was implementing and trying to do the things, implementing, doing the same thing, as long as I was trying to implement the things that I was told by somebody who wasn't in my state, that was a problem. And I've been with people who have told me, hey, this is things I do. However, they gave me cautions and caveats as to why something could work and could not work in my state. And I went in with the understanding, okay, they told me this, but it may not work, it may not be allowed. So, okay, cool. And that's what kept me from thinking that the business was a scam because I actually got true and correct information from a variety of people. They was like, hey, here's what I do, but you need to look at your state law. And they didn't just say go look at your state law. They actually pointed to it and helped me to understand what I needed to do, where the problem is, what's the differences are. Then when you kick it with the National Notary Association, oh man, then they can help you to even further clarify what you should and shouldn't be doing as a notary. If you think about it, the National Notary Association is there to help you what? Do your job as a notary. Yeah, they use the term notary signing agent and loan signing agent, but you can't be any of those other terms unless you're a notary. So the National Notary Association, they're not the National Notary Marketing Association. So they're there to help you what? With being a good to great notary so that you can continue to get business. Now let's see what these questions are saying. Fidelity approved. That depend. Like if you get with BankServe, you can become Fidelity approved. BankServe and National. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull so I can get the NSS. Hold on. Let me pull it up for you. Let me get the. All right. All right. Let me share this with y'all real quick, and let me drop this in the chat. So if you go to this company, and I'm gonna get to the other. And you sign up with them and you can apply to be with them. Oh, I always do that. Told you I'll never have my share screen still straight before I get on here. So, and let me drop this down for a second. So with this company, Nationwide Signing Service, NSS Notary, um, I signed up with them a long time from the beginning. And if you scroll down and then you just go here, join NSS, and then you go through here, and this here is Fidelity National Title Group, and you go through this here and just follow the instructions and sign up with them. If they have slots or they have what business, they will pull you on and everything, and then you just answer the questions honestly to the best of your ability. That's all you got to do. You got 3 pages. Page one, then you got page two. You answer these questions here, um, and all of that. And then you got page three, which is they want These documents up here, one, two, three, four, and five, is what you will fill out ahead of time, and then you will be uploading them here. Um, the vendor payment, I suggest that you get the e-check option because they take like $1.25 for doing direct deposit. I'm keeping my $1.25. So with the vendor payment option, select the option to get the deluxe e-check. Then your background check from the NNA goes here, picture of your ID, your commission license, E&O insurance. If you're an e-notary, that goes there. If there's any other signing agent certifications you have out there, if you got a bar license, if you got a title producer license, and then you submit. It doesn't take that long to do. Um, this last one is a document that you just keep for yourself. But these first five is what you need to fill out. Okay. And you fill those out and follow through the instructions, and you're good to go. So don't, and from my understanding, we can't go around marketing or advertising that we are Fidelity approved. They have a system that they know who is and isn't. So if your name isn't in the system, wherever they can see that at, you won't get selected for certain orders. And that's the thing, they just need you to be Fidelity approved. What all of that truly means, I honestly don't know, because I never looked into what's the whole point of it, this, that, or the other. It's a thing, and if you can get that thing, does it mean you will always get orders? No. Does it mean that your orders will pay more? No. Um, it just means that you have more of an opportunity if they have Fidelity orders available that you can get it. That's all that means. And if you can, cool, you go for it. So I did mine through them, and I think I have to do it annually or something to that effect, and they'll send an email out and let you know. So my man here says, I've been told that you can make 10,000 as a part-time or something, but I live in a state where lawyers have. Yeah, coach. Not sure how to make a full-time. Yeah, it's very few people. Very few people. And if you're down there in Georgia, it's very few people in Georgia that have that can do that. Now, giving you the straight deal, Coach Julian, is that her? Yeah, Julian. Here's the thing. If you look at the people who are claiming they're making all of this money, a lot of them already had connections. They already had connections with this industry, with other people in the industry, meaning in the real estate industry. Some of them are former or current real estate people. They're current or former. Um they um they got what, 100. They got, what's the saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I remember. They're a former title person, so they may have connections already in the industry. Um, so that's what I've learned over the last 5 years, that those people, if they got connections already, they might be able to get $10,000, whatever. Also, have learned, coach, that a lot of people are doing extra things to get paid extra. They might be filing paperwork, shipping stuff. They might be doing not just shipping those out, but like doing a lot of stuff that really is a W-2 position. So they ask you, hey, can you stay and help us get the office straight, or help us to do this? And that's why I posted that video. It was a short video on 1099 versus W-2 stuff. You got to understand that there's rules that you have to follow as a 1099, as well as the company. They can't have you working as a W-2 and then classifying you as a 1099. So you have to be mindful and careful, you do, not to sit here just to get a check or higher fee, or I'm gonna go ahead on and take on all of these other pieces of work that this company is offering just so I can get $300 a signing. You might not even really be getting 300. You're getting say 125 and then or 150, but they're paying you another 150 just to do some busy work around the office and make their life easier. That's not being an independent contractor. The notary side was independent, but the stuff you're doing in their office, that's the W-2. Okay. And you can go look that up for your state. Your state has very specific laws on that. Okay. So you have to keep all of that in mind. So coach, when people are talking about all of this money they're making, the question you have to ask, what are you doing to get the connections? Did you already have them? Okay. What else are you doing outside of that? Are you promising certain things? Because see, if you make certain promises, and is the promise that the notary made is something that they should be doing anyway in accordance with their state law. So a lot of people talking now about, as always, oh, you need to say certain things about you need to present the documents. You need to make sure that the customer is feeling good and comfortable with the signing and that they're okay with signing what they're doing and that they know what they're doing. That is truly not the notary's position. That is not what we're there for. That's what the loan officer and all of those other people. But if somebody is telling you, oh, you can get higher fees, you can get paid more by taking on these extra roles, that's where the scam sometimes can be coming in, because if your state does not allow you to do that, like my state doesn't allow me to do that, will notaries do it? Yes. Do notaries do it? Yes. But if you're trying to do things correctly, what does my state say that I'm allowed to do? My state says I'm supposed to do it this way, but my trainer, who I'm paying money to, says something completely different. What they're saying doesn't match with what my state's saying. So who do I follow? Well, you follow your state, but we tend to follow the person we pay money to. So you got to think about, and you got to be willing to ask these questions. If you're unwilling to ask questions just because you're all hyped up over 10 grand, 15 grand, or any grand, then that's on you. And this not directed at you, coach, but this is just in general. This is on you, on us, on me, on all of us. If we're not willing to ask the hard questions. So explain to me. You're saying you went from starting last month to now you're making $10,000 a month. How did that happen? What kind of help did you have? Did somebody connect you with someone? Did somebody say, oh, yeah, well, that person went to my trainer, or that person is cool with me, so give them some opportunities. And then all of a sudden, this company is like, okay, yeah, we'll throw some bones your way. And okay, you did good, but is that how you're doing it? And then the question is, are you able to maintain that same dollar amount through economic downturns? And if you are, then how are you doing it? If people can't reveal to you how they're doing something, especially when you're not in the same state as them, then that calls for concern. You're in Missouri, I'm over here in Chicago, and in Illinois, you're in Missouri, I'm in Illinois. So how are you doing it? Well, I don't want to tell you. Okay, well, we're not in the same state. So tell me. Well, nah, see, if I tell you, then you might tell somebody who is in my state, and I don't want them to know, oh, so you really don't have your business solid. Because if your stuff was solid, why are you afraid of competition? Why are you worried that somebody's going to take it? But then at the same time, and yes, I'm going on a little tirade here, but at the same time, you're going to get on internet and brag about the fact that you're making all this money. Why are you bragging about something that you don't want to really share with people fully? Or you share with them if they click your affiliate link. You'll share with them if they sign up for your little groups. You'll share with them if you get something out of them monetarily. That's what the game is. And that's when it starts feeling like a scam. You got me doing this, but in all honesty, you really just want my money and you never really given me the secret sauce. So thanks for the question, coach. But you're right. You hear that all the time. Then it says, can you do another mock signing with the start of the oath and reviewing to the I'm working on that. It's been a while since I've done a mock signing. Did I do a mock signing? But I got that. I got you on that. Then Shannon says there are so many people promising 10K a month, so the expectation is set high as a part of what makes the notary business feels like a scam. They don't say you have to work your butt off for the 10K. That is correct because they're making it seem like all you need is this here and that bad boy there, the printer one and printer two. Okay, like thing one and thing two. Got printer one and printer two. Man, my thumb pointing fingers messed up tonight. You have this and that. Oh, you good. You just make all this money just because you exist as a notary. The question I keeps asking y'all over and over again. People are trying to train you how to market and make money in the business, in this notary business. But yet those same individuals won't teach you how to do the job of a notary. And they're coming to you first before you ever learn how to be a notary and do that good. They're teaching you all the ins and outs of how to market the business. But yet, the moment you start marketing, somebody says, okay, come on here and do the business. Oh, I ain't even a notary. I've had so many people contact me about the notary business, and they're taking so and so's course and his and hers and their course and this, that, and the other. And the person like, oh, but I got to become a notary. They're talking to me like they are a notary. And they're like, well, I guess the first thing I need to do then is go get my notary commission. And I'm sitting here like, whoa, 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 wait. We just finished talking for like 30 minutes and you ain't even a notary? Nah, I ain't done it. But they're asking me, well, how am I supposed to make money? How am I supposed to do this? I mean, they talking in this market, but I don't get it. And I'm thinking this person is a notary and they're not. They haven't even gotten their commission yet. That's a problem. So you got people learning how to quote unquote make money, but yet they haven't even done the basis. And the people who are teaching them how to make money don't even care and not even checking whether or not they are a notary. That's on you. That you got to figure that out. So my stand has always been this: figure out the notary part first, and then go do the marketing. Because the moment you become a notary and people know, they'll ask you, hey, can you sign, can you notarize it? Now they'll say notarize this document. They don't know it's a signature, but we know what it is. We're notarizing signature. So they will come right off the bat saying, hey, I need a notary. Can you help me? I'd rather you learn how to be a notary first and do what you're supposed to do in accordance with your state law first before you ever take anybody course on marketing. I'm not saying not to take a course on marketing. What I'm saying is you need to make sure you understand how to be a notary. If you don't understand that, then how can you actually do the job that somebody is trying to hire you for when you don't know how to do your job as a notary? That's the thing. So that's what Shannon said. Um, yeah, he posted videos about that. He always does that. And they're saying you watch the loan signing video, the person's there's a lot, yeah, started in 2007. I don't understand why when a notary makes a mistake, they have a reduction of fee, or do they no longer, or they no longer get the closing. But I have received loan documents that have had a lot of wrong. That is correct, life. Nikki D, you are correct. This is my take on it. Um, Several different takes. This is several different, it's overall one take, but it's seven different facets to it, like a diamond, seven different facets or a path, different little lanes. Okay. One, it's about control. To control the notary and to make the notary act right and do right, we got to do what? Threaten them. That's what they do in W2 world. In W2 world, to get you to act right, to bring you behind, to work on time, to leave when you're supposed to only take an hour for lunch or 30 minutes or whatever, they do what? They threaten. So when you have a signing company owner, and this is no fault of their own, this is just the way they're programmed because this is the environment they came out of. If they've been a W-2 their whole life, or they may not necessarily have the proper management or leadership skills, well, what do? They lean to threatening. And see, here's the part that doesn't make sense. As a signing company owner, you're working with independent contractors who you haven't even taken time out to communicate with, except through your extra long set of terms of service. I always suggest that maybe you have a video that explains the terms of service. Let them look, and have somebody talk through the different terms of service so that they can understand and explain it. They're saying they're reducing the fees for mistakes. Now, again, because it's control. I got to control you to make you act right and do right. Why? Because some signing company owners, and it's fine with them doing this, they have made promises to their client that the notary will perform in a certain way. The problem that can be is that they haven't really talked to us. However, because we're 1099 and not W-2s, they don't have to talk to us. So they don't have to tell us, oh, this is what I promised. They're like, because they're hiring us to do a job, but yet we don't realize, we think the job is just to be the notary, to make sure that the you are who you say you are, this, that, and the other. But they have an expectation of all of this other stuff. But you didn't talk to me about that. So how do I know what your expectations is, or really not yours? Your expectation is what you promised to sign the title company. You told the title company I would operate in a certain way, but you never talked to me. But again, you don't feel you need to because I'm just a 1099. I'm not your employee. So legally, you really not. Because if you start telling me how I'm supposed to do my job, then therefore I can be classified as a W-2. You get where I'm going with this? So how do I do it? I can just say, I'm gonna reduce your fee. Well, the question is, if everybody's taking all of these people's courses, then why are there so many errors? And what is the errors in? Because I don't think the errors are in explaining the documents. How do you measure that? How do you measure whether or not somebody explained the documents? You can't, because nobody's there except for the notary and the person or persons who are signing the document, unless it's done in front of them. But see, that's when you're working direct with title. So this is with the signing company. Hey, you make a mistake, I'm deducting pay. Well, what type of mistake could I be making? Miss signatures, this, that, or the other. Okay, not properly notarizing, things of that nature. So if a notary, going back to the other question about the mock signing, if notaries don't get enough practice with the mock signing, true mock signings, not the 10, 15 page mock signings, but the actual 150 pages, 200 pages, that's what I was doing with my training company a while ago. But a lot of people, that's a whole nother story, you know. And I was trying to help people out, and some people didn't appreciate that. So you going in and you don't know, and you're getting nervous, and you're getting the documents last minute, told you better be on time, or you're losing $1 per minute. See, this kind of stuff, that's where the inconsistency come in at. You get me the documents late and then tell me if I'm a late, you're going to deduct $1 for every minute that I'm late. You say, well, how would they know? Because they're going to call the customer. Were they late? Oh, yeah, they were like 12 minutes late. $12 comes off. But you got me the documents late. You see what I'm saying? So you got all of this pressure on you. Then you take the thing of, everybody's told you this is how you're supposed to do the closing, and all of the stuff that you've been told to do has nothing to do sometimes with the making sure they date, sign, initial, and you notarize properly. But everything they're telling you to do is all of this aesthetic stuff that nobody's grading and measuring, but the stuff that they're measuring to see whether you did your job correctly, that's what you're making mistakes on. So therefore, to make you stop making those mistakes, I'm threatening you with reduction of fee. I know that's long-winded. And yes, the documents are full of errors, but we can't control that. That's not our issue. Because how can I be responsible for your documents with jacked up stuff in it, and then you making sure, then I got to make sure I do my stuff right? So it's not correct, it's not right. But how do you fix it? You fix it with proper training. That's why I do my videos, trying to get notaries to get focused on the right thing. If you focus on the main thing, as Deion Sanders says, keep the main thing. And I love that saying from Deion Sanders, then you will your ability to make mistakes will be a lot less. When I get off focus, get rushed, I make mistakes. Last week, whew, man, I made some mistakes. Yeah, I made a couple of mistakes last week because I got rushed. I got flustered. So that's really where it comes in at. But sometimes just having a conversation with notaries, helping us to understand what their expectations are, respecting what our state laws tell us to do. And if you let the notary be the notary, rather than trying to get the notary to be this escrow officer or a title officer, when we're not in a position to do that, I think that can help reduce a lot of the errors. So that is why they're doing it, in my opinion, to have control over us, to make us do right. Because the other fact, there are notaries who have jacked up stuff royally, and they've taken training or not taken training, and they have made great big mistakes. And the main thing is, a lot of notaries have this attitude, well, I'm gonna make the mistake, but if you don't, I ain't going back to fix it. Why do they have that? Because they hear that kind of stuff in the Facebook groups. So my suggestion to the title companies, or really to the signing companies, sorry about that, y'all. You signing company need to get yourself into those Facebook groups, and you need to check folk. It's that simple. You need to check them and be like, ho, ho, ho. Stop telling people this. Stop telling people not to fix orders, or that you don't, this is what you do and they still gonna pay. You need to stop that, because legally they still have to pay you, because to some degree, because you did the job, but then they'll never pick you again. That's not the position you want to be in. So in other words, we get the bad notaries to stop being bad. I didn't say he had to kick them out of business, but the bad notaries stop being bad and do things right. Boom. But if they're not going to do things right, because in their mindset, they don't feel that they should, well, this is the way I'm doing things because my mentor told me that's how they did it, then we're going to have this. So the signing companies like, I got to protect myself to keep business coming in. So therefore, I'm reducing your fee to scare you into acting right. And that is overall not a good recipe for a true relationship of any sort. To be in a relationship with somebody who's doing things to scare you to act right and to stay right, that's not good. Being held, yeah. And then this is says, hey brother, I did a 2 hour round trip appointment and only got 25 because the signer. Yep. Most people don't agree with that. My licensure. Um, that can actually start from the title company, because the title company say, well, we're not paying the full fee for the signing not being done. My understanding is this: some title companies have taken on the responsibility, saying we will pay the notary fee. If you put the notary fee on the signers, meaning it's their responsibility, meaning squarely on them, say, here's the notary fee, here's the title company fee, and here's the notary fee. And whether you sign or not, you're still liable to pay the notary for coming out there. That, I think that'll cure everything. That's possibly could cure everything, because the signer is like, oh, I still got to pay the notary $150 for coming out here. Yes, yes, you do, because you hire. Yes, we got the notary, and you're responsible for paying for them out in the closing costs. So if you don't sign and it's not the notary's fault, and you whatever, then boom, because the notary is coming out there to do a job. And to me, whether the notary, we should get paid the full fee no matter what. And maybe that'll stop people from doing things and canceling on the last minute, because if there's no financial incentive for them to pay us, or penalty, I guess you can call it, they'll keep doing that. And why is a notary making mistakes? I've done I mean, if you've only done 5 mistakes, hey, more power to you. I've done over 2,400 and I've done more than 5 mistakes. Mistakes happen. See, here's the other thing. It's not about, when you say why is a notary making mistakes, it could be a variety of things. It's not always a lack of education or that the notary doesn't know what they're doing. I'm telling you, papers got stuck. Recently, the papers got stuck, and I didn't catch that somebody didn't sign it. It happens. Um, Notary mistake could be like somebody told me they was given instructions. Now, McGuire, tell me, how do you classify this? A person told me they was given instructions that they were supposed to add a jurat, that this particular state, I think it was Hawaii, the title companies in Hawaii um do not accept jurats. You had to put an acknowledgement. That's what I meant to say. You had to put an acknowledgement instead of a jurat. So that was in the instruction. The notary did exactly what the instruction said. Added an all-purpose acknowledgement in place of the jurat, wherever a jurat should have been. That's what the instruction. A couple of weeks later, they're being told, "Oh, you made a mistake." They actually wanted the jurat, and we're not paying you to go back and get it fixed. Now, how is that fair? Is that a mistake on the notary or the company who gave them the instructions? There have been times where you just miss somebody initialing something or signing something. There have been times where you'll get documents, and on this document, there's never an initial, like the HUD VA addendum to the loan application. They signed it, but very rarely. I mean, there's nothing for them to initial. However, on the pages that they don't sign, some companies will put what? Initials. They will put down the A and the bottom, and sometimes they just put 2 lines. You only you ain't seen this. You done 15, 20, you've never seen, and they don't tell you. Just like I recently found out that with the survey, the printed survey of the property lines, they want you to have them sign that. I've never been told consistently by any title company or even a signing company, have them sign that survey. I'm not saying that they shouldn't sign it. I'm just saying consistently as a standard, I'm being told now, oh, that's the standard. Well, how come you won't put it in the instructions? So now what I do is whether there's a X with a line on it or not on the survey, I have them sign it. I write it on them myself, and I'm fine with that. But you gotta tell me. If you're not willing to tell me, you can't blame me for a mistake. And Sean, sometimes a senator, I don't know if that means senator, sometimes a mistake is because they didn't tell the notary. Oh, I was supposed to have witnesses. Well, you didn't tell me. Oh, well, we always have witnesses. Okay, well, in my state, we don't have witnesses. Just like out in my state, we don't notarize the promissory note. But they got this notarial section on there. Is that a mistake for me not doing it? No, because legally I can't do it because that's for a real estate attorney. So you have to sometimes think about the mistake that is being made. Is it really a mistake? What caused a mistake? Late documents, um, or they're sticking stuff in there and they're not giving you directions on it. They just have a this page in there. Like somebody got on me about not signing, have them not initialing the or signing the termite report, even though there was nothing on there for them to sign. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, they're supposed to sign that, even though there's nothing. And I'm looking through I'm like, but there's nothing in your instructions. Oh, well, yeah, that's what we have. You have to do that. And they're talking to me as if that's the industry standard when it's not. So if you've only made 5 mistakes, more power to you. That is great. Because see, then I would have to ask, are you talking about are you working for signing companies? Are you working for direct clients, what type of loans are you doing? Are you talking about all of that? There's a whole litany of stuff. Are you only doing one type? Are you just doing stuff like for Mortgage Connect, those hybrid ones that's just only a few pages, they don't have a whole lot. But when you got a 200-page signing and there's times where you can make a mistake. You'll see a document in there two or three times, and it's like, okay, well, do they need to sign all two or three or not? You get what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of ways that mistakes can happen. And it's not so much about that you don't make mistakes, it's about whether you can go get the mistakes fixed if you do make a mistake. That's what's most important. Yeah, well, see, one of the things, and this is what me and Q talk about, one of the problems that you have is that you don't have time to read the terms of service when the order comes in. The order comes in, you got microseconds to say yay or nay. That's why I feel that what they should do is put the terms of service for each and every company up publicly for the notaries. Sorry about that. For the notaries to review. So when you come on to sign in order SnapDocs, you should see those terms of service or a link or to a page that has them so you can review them up front. But we don't get to review them. All we get is the order coming to us. Yes, there's a link for terms of service, but by the time you go through and read all of that, the order's gone. So when you're getting your first few orders, you got an option. Well, really any order because the terms of service are different for each company. So when you get the terms of service or that order, you have to basically decide that I'm not going to get this order. I'm gonna click on the terms of service first and read it before accepting. And then now at that point, you got to decide the next go around whether or not you're going to accept the order based on understanding the terms of service. If you can remember the terms of service for that company. Oh, that company, they only pay that company, that this company, that's where it gets confusing. So to understand the terms of service and all of that, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to read it first, and you don't have an opportunity to do that. Now, once you accept the order, then you read it. Here's the problem. If you then turn around and cancel, and they may ask you why, well, I don't like your terms of service. You probably never, well, of course, I guess you won't ever get contacted by them again. So you sort of wasted their time by accepting. And then here's the thing. What's the amount of refusals that you have? I probably had more closings refused to happen. I've had less of them refuse to happen than a little bit. It's like it's not a whole lot out of the 2,400 that I've done. It's not like it's two, three, four, 500 of them. No, I don't. I get more cancellations from the standpoint before I even get the document, I get tons of cancellations. But for as the closing itself, me getting there and they're like, I ain't gonna do it. That is not happening on a consistent basis. I mean, it could be months before I get a something like that. I'm serious. So it happens, but it's not the main thing. And Oswald said, yeah, he made 10K a month. And you can make 10. I haven't made 10K, haven't pushed myself like that, but you can you can make 10K. It's not hard if you go out here and hustle. Um, yeah, if you get in general notary work, they will ask you how much do you charge for notary. If it's a general notary, I tell them $5 per stamp, $20 travel fee. Well, how much is that going to be? How many notary stamps do I need to do? How many times do I need to notarize your signature? I don't know. Okay, look on there, and everywhere where you see where it says notary signature, how many of those you see? Six. Okay, 6 times 5 is 30 plus 20. So that's gonna be 50. Oh, that much? Oh, never mind. I thought it was just gonna be $5. Okay, that's what you thought. I understand. Find someone else. That's all I can say. Um, yeah. Oh, she hasn't done a New York course yet? I thought she did. And you're right. Southern California is very inflated. So again, this goes back to what I've always keep saying. What is it locally for you? How is it locally? And that's where a lot of people make the mistake. They're thinking because somebody is saying that it's booming over here, that it's booming over there. It may not be. It may not be. Okay. I did a I did a video talking about um this site here, Reventure app. If you really want to get into the data and figure things out, this is where it's at. They got all kinds of filters to figure out home value, median home ownership rate, all kinds of stuff, for sale inventory. Okay. So let's look in my area. Okay. So in my area, this is what it's saying the for sale inventory. Now, this might be outdated by might be dated by a few months because the real estate information comes sometimes 2 months is 2 months behind. But this is what it's saying the real estate, how many in this whole area here for my metro area, okay, which extends down into North Carolina. But if I go by the county, in my area, the different counties, Virginia Beach, 446 homes, 357 in Chesapeake, 282 in Virginia, in Suffolk. Uh, that's the website. I just put it in the chat, reventure.app. So that can give you a feel for how it is. So let's roll out and let's go over here to California. Okay. So for sales inventory down here, San Bernardino County, 2,924, 1,024 in Kern County, 6,000 in Los Angeles, 3,000 in Riverside, 22,066. So down here in this part, you got a lot more this year. What's this part? I don't even know. This is whatever county in California, only 8. So the red shows a high amount of inventory. They got a lot going on down there. Okay. Hold on. Let me zoom that in. My bad, y'all. So that's a lot, man. Los Angeles, that's a lot of houses for sale. So if they start selling houses, okay, so they need stuff, they need notaries for all of that. You know, this Southern California, I guess this is Southern California. I don't know much about California. So this is just giving you an idea of what the houses, the for sale inventory is in that area. I'm trying to price cut, oh, that's right, I forgot. I forgot. I don't forgot my password for that. Well, I'll do it later. I forgot my password. I have to get my password later. I wrote it down somewhere. So reduction in fees when you refuse to go. Yeah, here's how you stop making mistakes. Focus on doing your part as a notary. Hopefully you understand that. And then take your time and don't rush. So even though they're telling us, oh, they want us to be done in an hour, they can ping me. Look, if the person is, if they're taking their time, if I need to take my time, that's what I do. I'm not trying to be perfect, but I'm trying to make sure I do what I need to do correctly. Will mistakes happen? Yes. Some mistakes will happen innocently, like the VA report and certification. The young lady was not on the loan. There was and normally and she wasn't listed. So I was like, she doesn't need to sign. That's what I've always been told. But this other company was like, oh no, she needs to sign that. I'm like, there's no indicator that she does. Well, we want her to. Also, this is a you thing. You want this done. Well, yeah, that's what we want. Why you didn't tell me that? How would I know that? So they're in a vacuum, the title company. They're in a vacuum of this is the way we do things, and we don't care about what the notary does for other companies. But we understand we're doing mobile notaries or using them who are doing closings for a variety of people nationwide. It's probably smart thing to do to say, hey, guess what? Let us put instructions in there to guide the notary. Now, the notary got to take time out to read the instructions. And there are companies who do that. And if you read the instructions, you'll know what to do. But then there's some notaries who don't read the instructions and they make mistakes. And I've done that. I don't do it anymore. So that's key there. Let me see. Other question. And you said you need to communicate. I do if I don't have the documents. I let the signers know. I get, yeah, I'm doing so much. I just let the signers know. No, I stopped trying to reach out to the title company and the signing company, all them because they keep telling me, well, we know, we're waiting. It's like I was just recently told that by a signing company, or we don't reach out about the documents until 24 hours prior to the signing. That's what the signing company told me. So I said, you know what, y'all know what y'all doing. If you want me to do this closing, you got to get the documents because I'm doing 5 or 6 a day. I don't have time to try to keep up with when you're going to get me the documents. You have your role to play. I have my role to play. My role is not to sit here and run behind you, say when you're going to get me the documents because you know you need me to have the documents. The title company, everybody knows we need to get the notary the documents. So why do I have to be the grown up in the room and be like, hey, 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 get me the documents? That has become a thing that I really don't do anymore. If I'm going to do it, it would have to be I got a signing that starts between say 5 in the morning and 8. I may say something then. But other than that, for the most part, if it's 2 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon, well, look, y'all know y'all need to get me the stuff. Just get me the stuff. Okay. Um, Now with signing companies and for new notaries, if you have this thing of if I don't get the documents 2 hour prior, I'm turning the order down. You might not be in the business that long unless you're just in an area that's cool with that. But you can't go around just because other notaries say I dropped the order. If you don't get me the documents by 4 o'clock for my 6 o'clock, I'm done. They remember that because here's the thing: it's not even on the signing company; it's on the title company. The signing company is just the conduit. They're just the middle person that's saying, "Hey, you get putting us together." But if the title company has issues, if the signer has concerns or questions, it can delay it. Okay, things can get delayed. That's a part of the business. I told you the mortgage industry is notorious for being what late and delayed. So you have to take that into account. If you're trying to have this thing within your own mind, how you want this business to be, I want everything that I'll always get my documents 2 and 3 hours ahead of time, 2 and 3 days ahead of time. That I sit down with my little cup and I go through and I put all my little stickies on there and and I got all my stuff. It ain't that serious, people. This is why if you focus on being a notary, the notarial part, it's easy to get documents last minute and go and do what you got to do because you're just focusing on the notary part. At that point, you get me the documents late. I'm not focusing. I'm not even thinking about, okay, well, this document means this and this document means that. And see here and here. And you already got me the stuff late. Let me get in. You know what you're signing? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. You Okay, cool. You've already reviewed this with them? Yeah, we already reviewed that. And I'm out. Ain't worried about that. And now a lot of the signing companies, I mean, not the signing companies, the title companies are having the customers look at the documents online ahead of time. So as to help us out where we really don't have to sit there spending time trying to explain, because there's notaries who have tried to explain stuff and they said it wrong. And then it causes a whole ruckus because the notary is answering the question or saying something that doesn't make sense to the signers, because they're like, well, we told Fred that this is what we want. And then the notary saying, oh, no, it ain't like that. This is what it is, because you're basing it off of something else, but you don't know what did happen between Fred and the customers prior to. And now you're telling them, no, it doesn't happen that way. And they're saying, yes, because there's some companies, let's say borrowers getting their money, cash out refis and things of that nature. There's some companies that say you don't get a check. I mean, we don't do um paper checks. Everything got to be wire. And I've come across companies that say we don't do wires anymore. Everything has to be mailed to you as a check. You sit there and say, well, no, you have to do wiring information. We need a voided check. And some companies say we don't want a voided check. We just want the bank account information on there. Or some companies say we don't accept deposit slips. And they're like, well, I don't have a check, but I got a deposit slip. And then the notary is saying, oh, yeah, that'll be fine. You see what I'm saying? You make those kind of calls, you can mess some stuff up. So you need this, really just starting out in this business, keep your mouth shut. Focus on what you're supposed to be doing. That will help you stay out of the scam thought process, or that, okay, this, I'm getting screwed over. No, again, this business is not a scam. All right, let me see what's going on. Hey there, lady. Um, Notice that orders aren't even set up completely. Sometimes they don't even know that I'm having two signers until, yeah, that is correct. There's a lot. Look, y'all heard me fuss about orders where it's in Florida. Florida requires two witnesses, and they don't even tell me that the property is in Florida at all. They put it that the property address and the signing location where I'm meeting them is one in the same place here in Virginia. And then I get there and they're like, oh, well, not. And then I'm looking at the documents at 9 o'clock at night, sometimes later, because I'm busy. And that's the only time I get to look at the documents is at the end of the day. And then I see two witnesses are needed and the property is in Florida. And I'm like, why didn't I know this? And I go back and look at the order because I'm thinking maybe I missed something. And there's nothing in the order that tells me this is a Florida property. Or I see stuff in the order that says witnesses are needed. But when I look at the state of the property, the state is Virginia, and Virginia don't do witnesses. So why are you asking me to have something that I don't require in my, that is not required, not that I don't require, that is not required in my state? That becomes a problem. So you get incomplete orders. And they're like, well, the title company said you need a witness. Okay, I'm not saying that the title company didn't say that. I'm saying that the property address that y'all have listed is for Virginia, and we don't use witnesses for our properties in Virginia. So how can I go and get witnesses for something that is not required? Oh, well, the title company said you have to. Can the title company confirm where the property is? Oh, the property is in Florida. Why didn't somebody put that in the order? Well, they don't know what the address is. How do you not know what the address is for a property that you're putting paperwork together for? Somebody has to know the address. Nobody is just buying some phantom property on a non-existent address. And then they're like, okay, well, hold on. This is the kind of stuff that you can come across. So it says, I'll text and call them, so and so. Yep, I accept. I accepted the signing and realized it was a different loan for 125. I had to squeeze a few extra dollars out of them. Okay, 1, 2 sign is no biggie. If it says 1, if it's 4, but then 2, don't even say anything. Just get the job done. Correct. I had the GN for 5 docs and signed the chart 35. When I got there, it was a full loan mod with 2 sheets of notary's instructions, which was different from what they said over the phone. Client did not. Now, full loan mods typically 5 pages. I mean, a loan mod, most I've ever seen is maybe 20 pages on a loan mod. So I don't know what kind of loan mod them people had, but a full loan mod for me has always been um maybe 20 pages at the most. 2 sheets of notary's instructions, primarily because again, notaries don't understand the basics of what they're supposed to do. And a lot, look, and let's just be real. A lot of human beings out here who have a notary commission and stamp, their level of reading comprehension is very, very not high. Their reading comprehension level is not as high as it needs to be. There are some people who honestly, and some of y'all are here tonight, and I'm not trying to be funny, but let's just be real. Some of us just want everything to be the same. See, the problem that a lot of folk have is that they're thinking that, and I know y'all saying, well, I thought this, what about the scam part? All of this falls into the scam thing because if no one ever told you that every single title company, every single lender does their documents differently, if they gave you the impression that it all looks the same, that every document for every single loan type is the same, you will think that this is a scam because somebody tricked you, somebody lied to you. They didn't necessarily lie, they just failed to tell you the full scope of what this business is about. That you will see a loan from Loan Depot or a loan from Mr. Cooper or Rocket Mortgage or Truist or Navy Federal. And each one of those loan packages is going to be different because each one of those companies, those banks do their things differently. Then you have the title documents from those companies, and each one of them do their things differently. They have different ways they do the termite inspection report, the wood destroying insect report. They do they have different because some of them say termite report and some of them will say wood destroying report. Then they have moisture report. Then there's some people who have a different way that they do the survey, different ways that they put the corrections agreement in there, different ways that they do the mortgages or the deeds. Some of them are just 10 pages, some of them are 30 pages. Each company is different. And you're not prepared for that, and you're thinking that somebody done duped you because they're trying to get over, and you're thinking that somebody's setting you up and trying to trick you, and they're not. And it can feel like a scam because it's like, okay, well, they didn't tell me this, and they didn't tell me that I needed to do this mentor program. They didn't tell me I had to buy this piece of equipment and that. There are people out here being trained in this business and not even being told they have to even have printers. And ideally, you want dual tray. There's people out here not even been told they need to have a notary stamp. I get the phone calls. So keep that in mind. Okay. And then let's see. He said if they follow instructions, not notary fault. Who gave the instructions? Is that fault on the old VA form? It has dashes at the bottom. Right. You're correct. You're correct. And if they want something initial, they should identify that to you. If they got ideally, if you have a certain way you want things done, let me know. That's all I'm asking. Just let me know what it needs to be. And then here in Georgia, I told the client, you can pull the documents for me to sign and I will complete sending me instruction. I said for me to do this is a different service. All right, let me see what other questions we got in here. Oh, you said I was frozen for a second there? I hope I'm not frozen anymore. Don't look like it. Yeah, no one can afford them right now. Yeah. And then get the rubber fingertips. I don't use the rubber fingertips because my fingers sweat and then the things fly off. I just use the glove. I just use I just use one of those gloves. I don't even know where my box of gloves are. They're somewhere around here. But I use the gloves, and then the inside of them is real slick. So the inside part you can't grip the paper, but the outside part I can grip the paper. So I use that. Um, I use the rubber glove, and that works fine for me. Um, yeah, man, what's going on there, fingerprint guru? Man, I think I'm about caught up with on these questions. I had a signer call me to tell me I ruined his day because the documents were late. Eh. Yeah, they try to blame, and that's why most notaries, you need to understand that you need to share with the signers when you get there that you're independent of them, that you don't work directly for them. You are contracted to get the paperwork signed. And I get the question all the time. So you work for them? So you know Fred, you know Ethel, or whoever the sign the title company will be. I said, I don't know any of those individuals. I said, I'm independent. I said, I didn't know about you until today. Let's say you're getting a last minute signing. I didn't know about you until I got the order today that they needed somebody to assist you in getting this paperwork signed. That's my extent of knowledge of them. Who they are, really, I don't know. Or my first knowledge of you was a week ago when I called you after being assigned to meet with you to make sure that you got the paperwork signed properly and submitted back to them. Oh, so you don't work for them? No, I don't work for them. I have no idea about what you and them have been discussing and all of that. And there are some people who don't understand the relationship between mobile notary and the comp and the title and all of them. And then there are some people who do. And this is the importance of you doing things the correct way, because if you do it the wrong way, you might be doing things the wrong way in front of a title officer or a lending officer or some other person that's in the real estate market, a real estate agent or whoever that may know this is the way things supposed to be. So you can't just go out here doing things however you want. Okay. What my man says here, he said I received an order that the hiring company group, the signing is in Virginia. So when I called the bar, they informed me they signed in Richmond, the address is some yeah, yep, that can happen. And you use two gloves. Yeah. I used to use two, but I only use one because when I flip the papers, I hold it with my right hand and I flip with my left. It actually works better for me that way and everything. So, whew, glad I was able to answer those questions. If you got any more questions or comments that you want me to answer or respond to, feel free to put them in there. I love doing that. So, in order for you to not feel like this is a scam, this is what you got to focus on. You have to focus on what you're supposed to do as a notary in your state. There is a shortage of notaries, even though more people are coming into business. There's a shortage of notaries who are competent and who can do the job. So a lot of companies, a lot of title companies and signing companies, not the lenders, they don't do this, but title companies that run signing companies and signing companies themselves, they are marketing. And this is something that I shared with y'all that they are going to continue to market. So people are always asking, is the notary business oversaturated? It is with mediocre notaries, but it is not for good notaries. So if you're a good notary or great notary or excellent notary, it is not oversaturated if you're on that level. But if you're just gonna be the run of the mill whole hum notary, and I'm not talking about doing all this exceptional stuff of trying to explain documents. I'm talking about just being able to be on time, ship the documents out, make sure the notarizations are done correctly. That right there sets you apart. Having the right attitude that if you make a mistake, you go and get it fixed. That's what counts. You see what I'm saying? And my lady Terry said, Had my first seller's package on the 23rd. My friend was out of town and asked if I would do it for her. She paid me 75. All right. If you want to do a document review, you're a member of my channel, the YouTube channel membership, and if you want to do a document review, get with me and we can go over it to make sure you squared away with that. Okay, Terry? So don't think that you're alone in this. Okay. I keep telling people, especially those who are my members, y'all get these orders and then y'all go out. Not Terry. Terry just got hers, but other people go out and do the order and then they call me afterwards talking about the mistakes that they made. Get with me before then. Okay. If you're a YouTube channel member, get with me before then. Okay. He said, "Oh, Republic tried to market to me twice, but wanted pit fee and all that." Yeah, that's what you do. A lot of these companies have lost so much money from notaries doing bad things, and and just sharing with y'all how I feel about all of this. There are human beings in this industry who have made promises about stuff and promoted this business in a way that was not healthy, and other human beings in this business that don't agree with those human beings who did that really didn't say anything. They got the power to say something, they got the power to put a squash on that, but they didn't say anything. They let it ride. And now we have what we have. I've been sharing with y'all, and those of you who've been with me from the beginning, y'all know I've been predicting things that was going to happen and just changes and all of that. If you listen to what I'm saying, you'll see that the things have happened. I said they were going to change the requirements, and they did. I said there was going to be new notaries coming in this business, and there are. And why are they coming in? Because they're losing their jobs, because they're trying to get unemployment up, and because they're losing their jobs, they're coming to this. Why are they coming to this business if notaries are getting out? Why are they coming into this business? Because people are still marketing that you can make all this money. Those videos are still out there. And there are some human beings that don't know how to look at the bottom of a YouTube video and see, oh, this video was done 2 years ago, and they think it's still valid now. And then you have these surrogates and other people that follow these group people. Yeah, I'm making $20,000. I'm making $15,000. I'm making all this money. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Take my course, and you will learn everything you need to know, and you will be making money like me. And when you have a group of people who believe highly in education, that they believe that the only way to learn something is that someone else has to teach it to them, and they don't understand that they can learn it for themselves. They don't understand self-taught stuff, and they don't trust themselves to learn it correctly. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to shell out all kinds of money to somebody who promised them that they can teach them what they need to know. And then what they teach them is not what they need to know to be a good notary, is what to need to know to be a good marketing notary. See, there's a difference. Are you a good notarizing notary or marketing notary? Which one are you? I'm a good notarizing notary. I suck at marketing. However, when I come across somebody, I know how to sell myself. I know how to do my elevators pitch. I'm not the greatest marketer, but me doing my job correctly is what makes me very, very marketable. When I'm in a closing and I do my setup and get everything together, they instantly see that I'm a professional and they know that I know what I'm doing. So me and my preparation, me having the documents prep, me just having things together, and the way I conduct myself lets them know that I'm no slug, a slug or whatever it is, no slouch or whatever the term is. That I'm straightforward, and I'm a quality business owner, quality notary. And this is with me not sitting here trying to give them any kind of articulable version or verbiage about the documents. This is just me and my setting up. They're like, so you make a lot of money with this business? Yes, I do. Mind if I ask how much? No problem. I make this much. Oh, So you must really like this. Yeah, I do. I like it. I like being with people. I love the doggies. I love the cats. I love, just being around people. It's a great thing because when I walk into their house, I'm like, hey, we just good old buddies. What's going on? How you doing, sir, man? Do you need me to take my shoes off? Not a problem. I put them right here. You want me to put them in the house here or on the outside? Not a problem. Boom. All right, cool. When I come in there, now I'm fine with animals. I let people know you can have your animals. That's fine. And then I walk up to the animal and I say, okay, dog, you get your smell on. You say that phrase, I'm telling you, people will just chuckle because that's what the dogs do. They smell you to see, okay, oh yeah, yeah, you good. And they be like, yeah, I heard about you, Griff. I heard you like dog. Yeah, I'm good, man. And the dogs and the cats and squirrels or whatever else they have in the house, they like Griff is cool people. And people are amazed because they're like, my dog normally barks at strangers, but they ain't barking at you. If you come into somebody's house, for those of you who are cool with animals, and that animal doesn't act crazy around you, and that animal's like, oh, they're like, wait a minute, you must be all right. People will judge you based off of how that animal deals with you. Now, of course, if you got a dog that's just always scared of people, that's one thing. But people know their animals. And when they see that the animals take to me and they want to be around me and all of that, and they're like, oh man, they're like, oh, my dog really likes you. And I've had people be upset that their dogs like me, like, okay, we gotta move. No. And I'm like, okay, do you have certain bias toward me that you want your dog not to like me in case of some civil unrest and you want your dog to come after me? I don't know. But I've been in those situations, you know, and for the most part, I'm cool with all animals. And I don't have a problem. I mean, only animals that don't really get along with, and that's just because they crazy, is chihuahuas. you know, Chihuahuas are the ones that's crazy, and stuff. And then my lady Pam said, "Thank you for saying to check with you." Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Yeah. Look, I just finished helping a friend, one of them YouTube members, um, early this week. He had, or was it last week? But nonetheless, me and him got together real quick and did a document review for a closing he had coming up, and he ended up doing great. Then another member needed me to help them out with some notarization stuff and just understanding notary. And I did a quick training session with them. So for my YouTube members, I do this. I got tons of videos out there that explains things, but people who want me to be more one-on-one with them, they join the YouTube. You just click the join button, and that's the only thing that I really even market. But if somebody calls me, I'm gonna help them out to the best of my ability and everything. But it does take time to really help people the way they need to be helped and all that kind of stuff. Because here's the thing. Let me just be straight with y'all. Part of the reason why I even do the YouTube membership and I sort of moved that direction because one, people had asked me to do it, and two, there are a lot of people who have spent $300 to $500 on training courses with other people, and then they will come to me and ask me to do all of this, helping them to get right as a notary for free, which I have no problem helping them. But my concern and my issue, as I looked more into this and got to thinking, and other people, my mentors talked to me about, they were like, they're paying them money, but they're asking you for help to get the job done because that person who they paid $300 to $500 to is unable or unwilling to even help them. And I was like, you know what? That is a problem when you're paying somebody for something that they told you would help you, but then they're like, oh, well, I said it would help you, but it won't help you with this. It only help you here. Well, you didn't tell me that before I swiped the card. Well, you can tell my age. I'm talking about swiping card. You didn't tell me before I tapped the chip. You didn't tell me that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to really think about the fact that if you pay somebody money and then they're telling you, I can't help you with the notarial part, then the question is, did you not understand what they meant by I don't teach this? This is not my area of expertise. You got to figure that out on your own. Or did they just hide that altogether? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know because I didn't go around taking everybody's course. I just know what people have told me. And And a lot of people have gotten duped. Okay. And that also can make a person feel that it's a scam. So, what I try to do is help you understand the right way to do the business so that you can see that this isn't a scam. But there are more and more people coming in this business. Um, right, and they do trust their dogs. Some dogs don't like. I hear you, my man. I hear you. I hear you. Terry, those are super easy. Yeah, less pages. Yeah, if you need help, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do what I can to help you. That's who I am. And see, I want y'all to understand something. The reason why I put forth a lot of effort in my YouTube videos, and it takes time. That's why I'm not down with a lot of the TikToking stuff. The TikTok stuff is just to get you, oh, yeah, yeah, excited. And you don't really get to see who that person is. This environment, you get to see who I am. You get to ask me questions. You get to hear my response. You get to see my facial expression and hear the inflections or inflectuation or whatever they call it of my voice. You really get to know me. TikTok, you don't get to know anybody. Instagram, you really don't get to know anybody because on those two platforms, they're constantly selling, 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 but they're never talking to you. They're never talking with you. They're talking at you and telling you, come spend money over here with the promise that you're going to be a much better notary marketer. Not necessarily notarizing notary. That's not their genre. That's not the area in which they're there to help you. So if you understand that now, as I've always said, you have to ask yourself this: what is it that I need to know about this business? And 90% of the people, or even more sometimes, say, I need to know how to explain the documents. Says who? Well, that's what I heard on Facebook groups. That's what I heard over here. And here's the crazy part: people are getting into those Facebook groups and they're not even notaries. So that means there could be people in the Facebook group giving bad advice. If you're with people who are telling you, I can't answer your question, just throw it in the Facebook group, you need to run away from them. You need to stop spending money with them or whatever you're spending with them and get away. Because the Facebook group owner, manager should be able to help you out as a notary, but they can't because they don't want to quote unquote be liable for telling you something incorrect. Well, then learn the correct thing and then share it with somebody. Help the person get the correct answer. No, I don't want to mess with that. So if you can be liable for telling me the wrong notary stuff, can't you be liable for telling me the wrong marketing stuff? Because if you tell me how to market my business and what you're suggesting that I do, I'm not legally allowed to do, as they're finding out or have found out in Georgia that when you go around giving people cookies and cakes and donuts and all of that, that you're actually sort of paying them to give you business. And that is not legal in Georgia. So you need to know your state laws. See, this thing is a whole lot deeper than just, oh, let me learn from so and so, and then I'll just be, be this $100,000 a year notary. No, you got to make sure you're doing this stuff legal and within the confines of your state law. If you're not, then that becomes a problem. And guess what? None of those people who told you to do those things are going to be there to rescue you. They're not going to be there to help you with that. Okay, that's a good question. I'm not down packed with it because I don't get a whole lot. I know Laura Brewer and others have this whole checklist. I can't even remember what the checklist has on it, but let's say if it's a power of attorney, the first thing that I ask is, can the person write their own name? That's what I want to know. Can they write their name? I want this to say, well, these are the questions. Whether I answer first or second is inconsequential. So I will ask one question I would ask, oh, if they're in a rehab center. So let's just say rehab center, because that's different. If they're in a rehab center, I need to know, are they conscious? Are they somewhat, lucid? Can they communicate with me? If the answer is yes, okay. Next question is, can they write their name themselves? Hopefully they can. Next is, do they have valid unexpired driver's license? And if it's expired, when did it expire? And do you have the physical driver's license? I can't take the picture. Or do you have a passport or a military ID? That's what I asked them starting off the bat. Then I'm asking them, does your power of attorney require witnesses? Some do, some don't. Now, one of the things, and it's in the Code of Virginia, for the Code of Virginia, which governs all that we do here in Virginia, especially with businesses, if the person can't write, then they can designate to the notary that this person is going to sign on my behalf. The problem is if the person can't communicate with me, so that person has to be able to say, because I asked them to say, "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Johnson or Miss, Jones? I'm Griff the notary. Do you understand what I just said? Who I am? Yeah. Can you tell me who did I say I am? You said you Griff the notary. Okay, good. So you understand why we're here today? Yeah. And why are we here? Why did they have me the notary come in here? Well, they had you come in here because they want me to do my power of attorney. Okay, great. So now I was told that you're not that comfortable, or really right now you're having a difficult time writing your name. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah, I'm having a hard time writing my name. So since you understand what we're here for and what we're doing, Virginia law allows you to designate somebody to sign on your behalf. Is there somebody who you have that you want to designate to do that on your behalf? They'll say, yes, I want my sister or my brother or whoever. And that person will like, okay, boom. They're the ones who get, they'll do it. And they told me, I witnessed it, and then we proceed on. That's for Virginia. In your state can be completely different. You might not even have that option. Okay. But you can do that in the state of Virginia. What other questions you got? So those are the basic ones for a power of attorney, and that pretty much can cover anything. So if somebody just if it wasn't a power of attorney, I'm asking, is the person lucid? Can they write their own name? Do they have a valid driver's license? Um, I don't necessarily worry about what the document is and all of that because I have all purpose acknowledgement. I'm hoping I'm getting this right. Oh man, I'm trying to find the Code of Virginia. I can't remember. I can't remember how. All right, so this here, yeah, it says California does not, and I'm in California, they do not, right. So you have to know your state law. Look, if you're going to do this business, you got to know your state law. And people out here in this TikTok, Instagram world, they will give you snippets of information that sounds wow, but you gotta peel back the layers and say, okay, wait a minute. How does that apply to me in my state? And if they say to you, I don't know, you need to figure that out, that's where I have a problem. Then why are you communicating something as if it's universal when it's not? If it's not universal, then don't tell me about it. Or tell me with disclaimers that in my state, we can do this. In my state, we can't do that. Then I know what you're talking about is just your state. But to do that, that limits and restricts the amount of revenue that person can make from people because people will be like, oh, well, let me figure it out. Let me take that training. Let me sign up with them or whatever to do whatever. And then you find out later this isn't applicable to me. And what they will tell you is that you should have did your own due diligence to figure that out before paying them. That's why I'm telling y'all, do your own due diligence before you go and pay them. That's what you need to do. Now, I want to show y'all a website, and some of y'all may be familiar with them. Um, or this gentleman. And I have not done a jail notarization. I will, but I have not done one. I would do one. Um, I wanted y'all to now. I don't. I'm trying. I've been trying to figure out the best way to say this so it doesn't get taken the wrong way. Okay, this gentleman here is a financial planner, Jason um, Thorne. So yeah, Jason Thorne. He's a certified financial planner. His YouTube channel, he reacts to um, people telling other folk financial advice and they're not qualified. I bring this up because they're talking about people scamming within the black community. Okay. It happens in white communities, Asian communities, all of that, but he primarily focuses on the black community. If you listen to him, I'm telling y'all, if you listen to him and you've been listening to what I've been saying about the notary community and for as things that's going, you're going to be like, oh, snap. That's the same thing Griff said. In this video here, at about the 30-minute mark, they say something that I've said, or 40-minute mark. Yeah, 40-minute mark. And then at the 1 hour and 30-minute mark, and I'm sitting there like, it's the same stuff that I'm saying. And this isn't about clout chasing. This is about me recognizing and seeing, and you recognizing and seeing that there's some stuff going on out here that people are trying to take advantage of you. And you need to be aware of that. And the warning bells have been rung, and you need to listen. And if y'all been following me for any length of time, and I'm telling you, if you just listen to this video here, scam culture, if you listen to that one, you're gonna be like, that's some of the same stuff that Griffin been saying for the last 2 years. Um, one of his videos, another one, if I can find it, where the heck is it? This one, that's a good one. Or is it Under the Lives? Yeah, the DJ Envy one, that's a very good one. You look at that, listen to that DJ Envy one, you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm telling y'all, this is the stuff that's going on out there now. Yeah, I'm in the chat. I'm in that. Yeah, I was in there because here's now you say, well, what's the big deal? How does this equate to the notary business? These scammers float and they run around from business opportunity to business opportunity. One of the things they said in the scam culture one at around the 1 hour, 30-minute mark, if I'm remembering correctly, that a lot of these people have the vibe of network marketing. And I've said that many times that a lot of people they come across like they've been in this network marketing thing of Amway and Shackley and Prime America, the way that they're pushing the notary business. So keep in mind that there are people out there. Now, most of this stuff here is about real estate and things of that nature that people are trying to scam folk on. And as they talk about, scam, creating a course is not a scam. And in and of itself, I partly agree with that, except for the standpoint with the notary business. Somebody creates a course that's not applicable to your situation, as Coach Julian asked earlier. They're telling me I can make this money in an attorney state. So they want me to take this course, but I'm in an attorney state. How does that work? And they really can't give you an answer. Then that's where, to me, that's where the scam with the course comes in, because you're trying to get me to buy something that is truly not applicable for me where I'm at. So you really, I'm telling you, if you listen to this, and yes, they're coming from the black culture perspective, but if you listen to this and just apply notary, Just put notary in there, and you'll be like, is this happening in the notary community? I would have to say, yes, it is. I did a video called the Notary Pyramid Scheme. Go look at it. Go type Griffin Notary, Notary Pyramid. I did a video about the Notary Pyramid Scheme. I'm telling you, this stuff is for real. So hold on, let me put his link, and this is link in the chat. All right. And it said, do you think signings will start to pick back up now that the Feds have paused the rate hikes for the moment? Um, they've actually already sort of picked back up. Depends again, local depends on where you're at locally. Some areas with the because and I think they already knew the Feds is going to pause 2 months ago because Rocket Mortgage and United Home came out with the 1% down on FHA loans, and they came with the and then either one of them or both of them came with the 0% down. And now they're doing this 3.5% grant, meaning this three giving you a grant on 3.5% of the mortgage. Okay. So you're 30 minutes north of Sacramento. So it all depends on your area. Um, it can, but then again, the people got to have money. They got to have the right credit score. They got to have the ability to pay the closing. If they don't, I mean, pay the mortgage, that can be a problem. So the problem is getting the people qualified. If they can't get qualified, then it's going to be definitely hard for them to do this to get a house. So they still got to qualify to somewhere. Yeah, okay. Chino, yeah, I'm not familiar with all of that, but Sacramento, I know what Sacramento is. So if you was to get on to the Reventure app, you could actually take a look at and I'm gonna put that link in there again. Um you go to the Reventure app, sign up and get you an account with them, and you can get a clue as to what's going on. Look at the little drop down on the right hand side for the homes for sales and all of that. A lot of so I do think that there can be an increase because real estate agents as well as lenders are going to be pushing people to get on those programs. So if they get them onto the program, boom. And now, like for my area, a lot of the closings that I'm doing are out of state. They are for properties out of state, Florida. I'm getting a lot for Florida, a lot, because there's a lot of military. What helps my area is that we got a lot of military people coming in and going out. And almost every time when they coming in, they got to sell a house down there as well as buy one here. Sometimes they may just rent here, but they done sold, they're selling a house that's down in South Carolina, Georgia, or Florida, or maybe Texas or California. Going out, they're buying houses. They're buying a house in those other states that they're moving to. And then if they're retiring, then they're really trying, okay, I got to buy me a house. So I'm doing a lot of closings for properties outside of the state for purchases and sales. There are refis that I'm doing within the area, and the average interest rate is about 6%. So people are refinancing to get money out at 6%. Sometimes they're refinancing to take a spouse off of the deed or the mortgage. And the only way you can do that is, well, a lot of times the people do it, they do it through a refinance. So I'm getting those. I'm getting a lot of HELOCs. So I do a lot of HELOCs. I haven't seen a whole lot of loan applications. There are some out there, but it's not a whole lot. But the bulk of my business right now is either purchase, sell. HELOCs, and then refis. And I'm getting most of my business right now from SnapDocs, and I do get some from signing order. This month, signing order has been a lot slower, but the bulk of what I'm getting is actually from SnapDocs. I'm probably at about 30 signings on the month already, so it's doing good. I did 76 or 77 last month, so 76. I did 76 last month. So I'm just taking whatever comes my way. I'm not being picky. And that's another mistake that a lot of notaries make. They're being told to be picky. Just take whatever comes. I mean, a lot of notaries are acting like, well, you want me to do this order, and that's 35 minutes from my house. My time is worth more than that. Then what is your time worth? Tell me, you're just signing papers. How do you justify that your time is worth $200 just to sit there and sign some papers? Well, I got to go there and I got to print and I got to do this. There's a lot that your hairstylist or your barber has to do. And guess what? You pay them $50 for a haircut for men and 200 for a lady. You pay the 150. Lady was telling me today that she stopped getting her nails done because she couldn't afford to pay the $150 to the nail salon. So if you're paying that money kind of money out, that's part of the reason why you probably feel you need to make that money, because it's like, well, I'm paying out $200 for this, $50, $75 for that, or 200 or $100 for that. I need to make that money back so I can keep paying for those things. And just be real with yourself and honest. That's probably part of the truth of it. And I understand that. But none of that matters to them. They're like, hey, we this is how we value what we asking you to do. And this is why notaries keep trying to do all of this extra stuff to justify claiming that they need to get paid more, because I do so much more. I do the stuff that other notaries won't do. Okay, but we still only value it at $95. Would you want $200 one time or $95 10 times a month? Which one would you want? 200 or 10 times? $950. Yeah, I had to do the math because my brain is tired right now. So you can get 200 from this company, but you may only get it one time. Or that company can say, well, we got 10 orders each month that we can give you. But that's only not, you're only paying 95. Okay, okay. That's on you then. And then you're wondering why you can't get nothing. So that's a decision you got to make for yourself. But make sure whatever decision you're making is based off of facts, factual information for your state. And again, thanks for hitting the like and share button, everybody. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead on and bounce on up out of here. Thank y'all for the not Fritter Friday. I'll take $60 all day long near me. Yeah. And okay, let me share something with y'all. And I meant to say this earlier in the thing. And before y'all start signing off, don't sign off yet. Don't sign off yet. Stay, 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 stay. Part of the reason why I gotta bust my butt like I do is right here on my face. My glasses and my wife's glasses cost us 866 just for the lens. Being full-time entrepreneurs, we don't have company health insurance. We get the Obamacare, healthcare.gov insurance. And all we was able to qualify for was to get 20% off of vision. Um, I can't even remember how much we had to pay for the eye exam. I forgot how much that was, but we had to pay $866. We kept the frames, but they gave us new lens, and that was 866 bucks. So for me, whatever money I can make, I'm making. That's why I took that order today. that 125 that came in, I hopped on it. Now, some of you have the luxury of, I ain't gonna mess with it. I don't have that luxury. Full-time entrepreneur, the money that I make from this business is what keeps things going. So why shouldn't I take advantage of that? So I want to show y'all something, if I can, just so y'all can get an idea. Um, Let me see here. All right. So the way I want to show this. So let's say here. So here and where did I have to go? All right. So let me show y'all this real quick. This is just for today, just so you can get an idea. All right. So where my mouse is circling, zoom in. This is where I live at. I live at around over here. This is where I live at. That 125 order that came in today, I had to go over here in this area to do it. I just picked a spot. This isn't the actual house. So I had to go over here. When I finished that 125 order, I had to go and drive all the way down to this area, all down here. This whole area where it says, just so y'all can see, I was all down here doing house inspections. If you look, I'm right there by North Carolina. And then once I finished that, drive back up. That was $60 in house inspections, $20 a pop. Yeah, 40 some minute drive down there. I'm tired. And then after doing all down here, drive my little happy butt all the way back up to here. When you're a full-time entrepreneur, you are going to do what you gotta do. It's too many of you are looking for easy way out. You're looking to do this business with the least amount of effort, but want the maximum amount of return. And you think about it logically. You cannot have 15,000 notaries all giving the least amount of effort and then getting back the maximum amount of return, meaning you put in 2 hours worth of work, but you're getting 30 hours worth of pay. That doesn't happen. It's not. That is not the way this business is designed. And people have lied to you and made you think that can be, it might be for them if they've had to hook up or whatever, but how is it going to be for you? And then some of you aren't even disciplined enough to even do that. Are you disciplined enough to commit yourself to the business? Because if you're already trying not to work but make all this money, then you're not going to be willing to just at the drop of a dime say, oh, let me drive all the way over and get this done and then go back and do my house inspections and get all of this stuff done. You're not going to be able to do, you're not going to do that. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm just checking something real quick, y'all. So that was that plus. So today, altogether, plus that, I made $305 a day because I also had a general notary thing. So between all of those, all that I did today, I made $305. Are you okay with making $305 a day? The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to get there? That's really the big issue. None one of y'all will ever say, I don't want 305. I want, you might say you want more, whatever, but you're okay because if you know you can make $305 a day, so 305 times, let's say you normally work 20 days a week, that's $6,100. Can that be a life changer for you, especially if you are working a part-time job or working a full-time job and you can find the time to make that amount? You'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. That's cool. So I'm doing a little bit more. I'm doing that 305 times, let's just say 24 days out of the month. So let's just say I'm including a weekend, working one weekend day out of the month. That's $7,300. $7,320 if I do that for 24 days. That's a game changer. The question is, are you willing to put in the time and effort to make it happen? It's not going to be that easy. And a lot of your millionaire notaries and $100,000 notaries and they very few of them are actually doing notary work. They're just selling you stuff to tell you you can make this money. But then what are you doing? Trying to sell the same stuff they're doing. That's all. And that's the game. And that's when it becomes, to me, somewhat of a scam. Just be honest, people, that you don't like doing notary work. It's you feel that it's beneath you, but you want to sell the dream to everybody else that they can make all this money as a notary and hire you as their mentor and coach and all of that. I'm telling y'all, you need to take time out. Look at the pocket watching with JT. Look at the last 4 or 5 videos, live streams he's done dealing with these scammers out there and ask yourself, is that what's going on in the notary business? And I know people don't like to hear this kind of stuff in the notary business, just like we don't like to hear that in the Black community about scammers and this, that, and the other. But here's the thing, truth is truth. If this is what's going on, then you need to deal with it. Somebody has to tell the truth about it. And I know most people want to look at the notary business as this pristine, everybody loves everybody, everybody's cool with everybody. Nobody is not getting along. We're all a big family and we're just all taking care of each other. And that's why there's some people that don't deal with me because I'm not all for the fakeness. Okay, there are some fakeness stuff in here because some people just want to be around other notaries, other people in this notary business, so they can keep tabs on how much you're making. And then hopefully they can steal something from y'all. Know people love to steal in this notary business. You come up with an idea, next thing you know, they're doing it. They are doing it. It's taking them 18 months to start doing what I've been saying needed to be done from the get-go, which is they need to start teaching notarizations. They start losing money because nobody's buying their course, and a lot of these trainers out here aren't teaching notarization. So now what? Now they're trying to teach people how to be notaries and notarize stuff. You even got signing companies in on it too, trying to teach notaries how to do stuff correctly. The problem again is centered around is what the notary trainer, mentor, coach, and signing company asking you to do. Is it in line with your state law? If it is, cool. If it's not, then you can't penalize me for abiding by my state law. And I've been penalized many a times for abiding by my state law. Well, we just know that, other notaries carry, they would collect the closing funds, but my state law says we can't do that. There's nobody that teaches what I'm talking about, except for me, to be honest with you. That's why I did the YouTube channel membership, and I'm not trying to just push that, but that's why I do the videos. So if you look at my videos, my notary basic playlist, if you click on the channel and you click on my channel and you'll see the notary basic playlist that I do, and you will see all of the videos that I have out there. I have a playlist of some of everything. Um, Hold on one second. so I can show y'all. So I got playlists dealing with some of everything. Okay. Ron stuff, success stories, reverse mortgage, my Fritter Fridays, notary supplies, dot verify. This is the one right here. This is notary basics. I'm telling you, the first 6, 7 videos right there, that's going to be the thing. If you want to deal with your mindset, click on this here, the mindset, and listen to the videos in there. You want to about making your move, click on that. Tax stuff for my accountant right here. You want to learn more about return on investment right there. The playlist is there. So I'm telling you, if you take the time out and look at the videos, you're going to get your questions answered. The problem is a lot of you don't want to spend the time self-educating. You want somebody to just tell you what to do and then you go do it. And this is how they're making their money off of you is they're telling you something to do. Whether it's actually valid, applicable is not their concern, but they're doing what you asked. They said, "Tell me what to do. Go take some cookies and cupcakes to the title office." You go do that, and then you find out that that is against your state law, that you cannot do that. I'm just being real with you. They tell you, "Oh, this is what you need to do." Yeah, when you're in the title office, yeah, volunteer your time to do such and such and such. Is that actually legal? You mean to tell me I'm volunteering? I'm a 1099. I'm a self-employed person, a business owner. Now you want me to go volunteer in somebody's business, the same business that's paying me as a in my business to business contract with them. Now you're telling me to volunteer. That don't make a bit of daggone sense, y'all. I mean, think of the logic. Yeah, to get more business, you, the business owner, now go volunteer in the business of the person that just paid you. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. Think and stop looking for the easy way out. I don't care how cool they talk, how pristine they look, or whatever the case. If you saw them in person, I would say even how good they smell. What is legally right? Notaries keep saying, I'm nervous about doing this business because, these are legal documents and I don't want to mess anybody's life up. If that's the case, then why are you not making sure you're doing stuff legally right? Why don't you take responsibility to make sure you're doing stuff right? But nobody wants to do that. I'm going to put it on them. And if it fails, it's because they didn't teach me correctly. And that's why I'm very careful about what advice I give out to people because people call me all the time. What's the best printer? What's the best training? In order for me to tell you what the best is, I would have had to been a part of all of those different facets. But I have not used all the printers. I have not used all the toners. I have not taken all the training courses. But you can learn this business. And I tell people, you ain't even got to take what I say. I'm willing to put myself out there like this for what, 2 hours. So you can actually, okay, let me think about this. Okay, Griff is saying this, and let me see if Griff is really right. Let me challenge. Okay, let me ask this and ask that instead of you just sitting in these clubhouses and Facebooks. Well, I'm just here, just soaking it up. I'm just soaking it up. Man, bump all that. You need to ask questions. This is your daggone business. Your name is on the LLC. Your name is on that bank account. And none of them are required legally, morally, ethically, whatever you want to call it,
to make sure that anything is right for you. You are the only one. And until you are willing to take responsibility, nothing you will ever do is going to amount but for anything, whether W-2 or as a business owner. Like Whoopi Goldberg said in The Color Purple, until you do right by me, I'm telling you, until you do right by for yourself by doing things correctly and learning, you're never going to see the success that you need to be. But too many of you are looking for these other human beings who you don't even know, have no relationship with, to tell you the truth about something and just take their word for it. One thing that I say is that, at least publicly, I haven't seen too many people, haven't heard anybody come and say, here's what Griff is wrong at and what he is saying. If no one is saying that, at least publicly, then maybe Griff is correct. But then it's like, well, nobody can, but see, yeah, you just think you're right about everything. No, I'm not right about everything. I know I've been wrong because people have corrected me. And then I come back and retract what I said or correct what I said. Okay, well, I'm had it wrong, this, that. But at least I'm willing enough. At least grown enough. I won't just say man because then people think I'm neglecting the ladies. I'm mature enough and grown enough to put myself out here. You ain't putting yourself out here if you just on TikTok. You ain't putting yourself out here if you just on Instagram. Do a YouTube channel and open yourself up to the world. Open yourself up to about what you really think about this business and how to do this business. Stop doing it in the hidden corners of Facebook where people got to pay to come over there. You need to do it in front of people. And if the person can't sit there and articulate it in a dialogue like this, you don't really ever learn the truth about what they're talking about. If everything is, well, if you really want to know what I think, buy my course. I don't need to buy your course to find the truth out. Just tell me what you feel. Tell me your truth. They won't do that. They got to make money from it because if they tell you, if they educate you, they try to teach you something like I did in the videos in that Notary Basic, how to go through the loan documents, how to understand acknowledgments. They don't make money off of that on a consistent, repeatable basis. You said, don't be like this quote. We are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, our ideas suggested largely by men we have never heard of. Edward Bernays. Yeah, that is correct. I'm telling y'all, and I know people don't like this kind of talk. And for signing company owners who follow me or listen in on me, I'm not trying to start a rebellion. I'm not trying to start a revolution. Y'all know, signing company owners, y'all know that a lot of the notaries are being miseducated. I'm trying to encourage human beings who have decided to be a notary, who had taken an oath to follow their state laws and constitutions, to do things right. Because if they do things correctly and they learn the correct way to do them in accordance with their state laws, guess what, signing company owners, title company owners, and lenders, it benefits you. Everybody out here, a lot of people out here, I won't say everybody, my bad. A lot of people out here are just trying to get notaries to spend money with them so they don't have to do closings. And I feel, and here's the problem, the hard part with the signing company owners stepping up and even really getting involved with this is that a lot of them have taken training from them same people who have been mistraining people. The thing is, some of the signing company owners, they knew enough or they understood the proper way to be a notary or may have researched it themselves. And then they took somebody's course to help them on the marketing and advertising and Google business and all of that. And then you take that, you actually know what to do as a business owner, as a notary, and couple it with that. then boom, yes, your business can explode. The problem is there are too many people who only are learning the marketing aspect, never learning the notary aspect. And you can't expect the signing companies to do that and teach you that, because when you really think about it, being a 1099, they're not supposed to train you, because if they're training you, that means they're telling you how they want you to do your job. And as a 1099, you're supposed to know how to do that. So if you look at my community tab, you will see that there's a video in here. Boop, 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 doo, doo. I got two videos in here. Let me hop on the other side here. Choom. Independent contractor, what is the difference? 1099 employees getting ripped off. Okay. You need to know the difference. I'm not trying to start any mess. But what I believe the other issue that is happening right now is that there are notaries out here, and I'm gonna try to close it out here. And I know I was supposed to close it 20 minutes ago. There are notaries out here who are there are notaries out here who trying to be business owners, but they want their business operations to be like a W-2. They want somebody else to take responsibility for ensuring their business success. And I've sort of mentioned this earlier. But the truth is, you as a business owner, you long for the W-2 life because it's easier, because it's all on somebody else. So that's why many of you say, just tell me what to do. Not show me how I can learn this for myself. What are the hard questions that I need to ask? I did a video, the questions that you need to ask your notary trainer before spending money with them. You need to know. Hold on. Do I have any? Hold on. Here it is. I'm telling y'all, I've done videos on some of everything. Questions to ask a notary trainer before dropping dollars. Well, all right. Drop that in the chat. I need to look at that video. Ask them questions. What you got to understand and realize that because you're an adult, because this is your business, you have every right to ask people questions when they want to take money out of your pocket. That's why I'm asking y'all to look at the JT pocket watching. Look at that one about the scam thing. I'm telling y'all, you look at that one. What the heck is it? The scam culture. Look at that. That's his latest one. He just did that a couple of days ago. It got 35,000 views on it. I'm telling you, you will hear my voice in a lot of the stuff that those three men that are critiquing this stuff that's going on out here are saying. And I love listening to those guys, because what they're trying to do for overall the culture, that's what I'm trying to do with the notary business, is just make you aware and try to help you to understand that it's within you and you have it already in you to be strong and powerful to question anybody who wants your money. You want my money, Mr. and Miss Notary trainer, coach, and mentor, then you need to prove to me why I need to give you my money. Show me some solid results. Give me some evidence. Somebody's making $20,000 a month. Somebody's making $5,000 a month. Somebody's doing this, that, and the other. Then show me, how does that work in my business? And lastly, translation services. Be careful with that, because you got to make sure that that's not considered the unauthorized practice of law. Oh, I'm just facilitating it. Again, is it considered the unauthorized practice of law? There's notaries out there that are telling people, oh, I make money facilitating the creation of legal documents using my LegalZoom account. I just facilitate the translation of documents. I'm not doing the translation, but they just give me the document and then I send it to my third party source over here. Well, who is the person that's supposed to validate and verify whether that was a one-to-one translation and that it was translated correctly with the correct intent? Oh, well, that ain't me. I'm just the facilitator. But you put yourself in the mix. So you're not a lawyer. You didn't write the document up. So how do you know whether or not they captured the essence of that legal document? Going back to what you said was, I'm nervous about the business because I don't want to mess up anybody's legal documents. This is their life. Then why are you inserting yourself into the certain aspects of this business to conduct yourself as if you're providing legal assistance when you're not a paralegal, when you have no law degree or anything? Make it make sense. See, we're talking out to both sides of our mouth, neck, and everything else. You cannot, and I appreciate the comment there. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, correct. So, and here's the thing, most of you human beings who have decided to be notaries, in your gut, you understand what I'm saying. And in your gut, you know that some of this stuff they're saying is BS. Wait a minute, I don't even know if I can do that. Hold on. But because of the FOMO, fear of missing out, I want to be a part of the cool kids club. You just go with it. Well, I paid some money to that person. I gave them $200, $300. Well, I signed a contract saying I want to be with them. I would pay it for their mentorship for a year. Okay, what are you getting out of that? Well, I mean, they really ain't telling me nothing that I couldn't figure it out for myself. And they skipping the loo to the bank, and you sitting there struggling. Well, when I can't promise you nothing. I can't promise you. I can't promise you're gonna get any orders, but pay me for my course. Pay me for my knowledge. But I can't promise you anything. Yeah, go. You can go to college, and they said if you finish in your top 1%, you guaranteed to get a job. You finish, you go to ECPI and you finish in the top 1% or keep a certain grade point average, you're guaranteed to get a job, maybe. But they at least trying to get you employment. What are these notary people out here doing? Are they actually trying to help you get work? And if they are you sacrificing yourself by doing non-legal stuff in accordance with your state? If you have a notary trainer that like, well, I got connections and I can get you in with these people, and then you get in there and they're like, yeah, so what we're going to do is have you do. That's why you really need to listen to the video. I'm telling y'all, you really need to listen to this one here. You really need to listen to this one here about whether you are or are not an independent contractor. I'm telling you, because if they got you sitting in a title office doing things like you're an employee, you are technically classified or legally classified as an employee. You need to know the difference. As an independent contractor, you can come and go as you please. But if they're telling you you can't come and go as you please, that you got to be here from this time to that time, you can take a lunch break here. That means you are operating as if you're an employee. Learn the law, people. Learn the law. A lot of people are, I want to be inside the title. You again, business owner desiring that W-2 life. Then you're really not a business owner. If everything that you do as a business owner has to be wrapped in the blanket a W-2ism. If everything you're doing as a business owner is wrapped in the blanket of W-2ism, then you are not a business owner. You're not 1099. You are W-2. And there are some legal ramifications that comes along with that you need to be painfully aware of. And let me find this one last video for y'all. I promise you, um, we out, we out, we out, we out. Oh man, I thought I had it in there. I thought I had it in a particular playlist. Hold up, because it was a particular guy that did a great breakdown. Um, Hold on one second. All right, I found the guy. Type his name in. Yep, here it is. Um, yeah, boom. This is a good video. Um, this here, and this is him talking to business owners about hiring workers as employee versus independent contractors, and he's talking about the payroll aspect of it. 8-minute video. Need to take time to listen. He's very knowledgeable. He knows his stuff. I listen to his stuff all the time when it comes to that. So take time out, look at this. Now, again, this is not about y'all starting a revolution and no, I'm not saying that. But you just need to make sure you understand the legal ramifications and making sure somebody's not asking you to do something that will be classified as a W-2 when when you thinking it's 1099. You need to make sure because you're responsible for making sure you understand it as well as the business owner. And unfortunately, sometimes the business owner may not even realize that their manager is asking you to do stuff like that. So the business owner may understand the difference between independent contractor and employee, but the manager who you're dealing with, the scheduler, whoever, may not. So this is why it's important for you to make sure you understand and let them know that, look, I understand you want me to do this, but I can't because that could potentially put me into the category of working for you as a W-2 as an employee versus me being an independent contractor because that's not a part of our agreement. My agreement is to come and do this notary work for you and then I'm out. Now you're telling me you want me to sit around and hang here and I can't leave until 3. No, and they may know they don't have any work for you, but they just want you there trying to get you to help them out. So, hey, can you run this over here for me? Can you do this over there for me? Look, Shelly is going, could you watch the phones for us? All of that is W-2. And again, this isn't trying to stir stuff up. This is just the truth of the matter. Because if a business owner gets caught doing that, the IRS is going to have they behind. And I think he talks about that in that video. So y'all take a look at that. That's right. You have your business, they have theirs. And you are right. You got to be careful. And more notaries need to know this and do this. And like she said, you're absolutely correct. Care, custody, and control equals W-2. There are people. That's why I said people know this. We have to start walking in this and being an example for others who fail to take time out and look at my videos where I'm talking about all of this. And again, for you signing company owners, I know some of y'all may say, well, you know what, Griff is just being a rebel. I don't like that. He's stirring up stuff. And so let's not use him. Let's blacklist him. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you, if you listen to what I'm saying, because a lot of people have told me, don't talk like this, Griff. If you listen to what I'm saying, and if people did some of the stuff that I'm saying, even just a little bit, how does it not help them to be a better notary? Because the path that they're going on now hasn't worked. That's the thing. Correct. They want to see if they can manipulate you. As the young lady said earlier, all the fee reduction, it's about control. At the end of the day, somebody is always trying to get control of the notaries. That's why I say the notaries are the most important, but we're the least powerful because we don't control the money. So we're the most important because the deal can't get done unless we sign them papers and stamp. But we're not powerful because the lender and the escrow people, they're the ones that control the money. And the signing company is just the middle person trying to facilitate the thing getting done. And sometimes making promises about what we're going to do, and we have no idea that you made that promise. I'm not saying I can't do it because I don't know what it is you want me to do or what promises are being made. But once you tell me, oh, okay, I can't do that in accordance with my state law. Well, how would a signing company know that? Why don't you find out my state laws or pay for a membership with the NNA hotline and call them? Hey, this is so and so signing company. Griff said he's not allowed to do such and such and such. Is that correct? Oh, he is correct. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, now we know we can't have him do that. Well, Griff said he's not sure if he can do this. Oh, he can do that? Oh, and this is what, not a problem. We'll let him know. Hey, Griff, such and such and such. Oh, hey, thank you very much for letting me know. I didn't have a chance to research that. This is how signing companies and notaries should be working together, not a master slave type of thing. I know people don't want to hear that, but not the we're the signing company and you're down here and you do what we say or you won't get paid or we're gonna take all your money from you. There's no need to threaten people. Have a conversation if you understand how to converse with people. And unfortunately, there are people who are in business, whether notaries, title, whatever, signing companies, they don't know how to have adult conversations with people. All they know is shut up and do what I say. Because if you shut up and do what I say, the chance of me making the money that I need to make grows. But if you start asking questions and and you want to question this and question that, you're a problem because you're asking questions. That sounds just like what they say in your W-2. What do you mean? Why are you asking about questions? What do you mean? Yeah, we just won 5 contracts. Don't worry about whether we getting a raise or not. I know it's been 3 years since you got a raise. And yes, our revenue has grown over 200%. But don't ask about no raise. See, you're causing problems. What? Don't worry about them jokes that the boss has said to you. Look, stop being sensitive. That's what they do in the W-2. They scare you into submission. I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna end it there. The only people mad at you, yep, are those living a lie. That's my lady. Excellent notary down there in Florida. She's excellent. She's excellent. So again, this isn't about causing a revolution. This is just being smart and thoughtful as individual business owners. Because guess what? Those signing companies, those title companies, they are doing what I'm telling you we supposed to be doing as notaries. And if all of us do our part in our role, I don't see how we can't work together. The issue is that too many people are trying to control the notaries. And when you start trying to control the notaries and you don't know what you're controlling us just for your own personal benefit. And it takes us outside of our state guidelines. That's when you open yourself up, signing company and title company and all of them. to some serious mess going on, because if I tell you, well, I just did what they told me to do, why did you tell them to do it? Well, that's what we always did. Well, did you not check? Well, that's on the notary. But you told the notary to do this, even though they may have told you that they can't. Well, we always done that. Then why didn't you check? Well, I don't have to check. That's on the notary. But the notary did check and told you that it can't do it. But we always do it that way. Which one is it? This is what the judge will ask them. Which one is it? You doing it, always doing it the way you said? Or if the notary showed you proof that you can't do it that way, which one is it? This is just common sense, folks. All right. Look, thank y'all for this time. Almost 3 hours. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. And I know I've been talking too loud, so the wife probably downstairs on the couch sleep until I shut my mouth. But y'all have a good one, and greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. Enjoy your, I think tomorrow's Father's Day or today's Father's Day. I'll be losing track of these holidays. And enjoy your Juneteenth off and all that good stuff. And just love on one another. And if y'all need help, just hit me up. I do everything I can to help y'all out. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.